Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of an interview. Crisis is a word that is being uttered by everyone in the country. What is a crisis? Why have we got into a crisis and why are we facing a crisis? And what is the impact businesses have during this crisis? We believe that resilience, positivity and courage will help you to overcome this crisis. And we have an essential figure, a prominent figure in Sri Lanka to discuss more about how we can overcome a crisis and how we can revive in a crisis of this nature and move forward. Let me welcome Mr. Ashoka Siriwardena, Chairman of Wardena Venture Holdings. Mr. Siriwardena, it's a pleasure having you with us. Thank you very much for being here. My pleasure. So, Mr. Siriwardena, to begin with, I would like to ask you, as a business leader, how do you see this crisis? How are you coping up with this turbulent situation, and what are your views on this crisis? How can we move out of it?
Yes, Sankar. First of all, let me thank BMD TV for inviting me for this today's program, and I congratulate the BMD TV for a very prosperous future. Starting from there, let me give a very brief outline as how I have read the current situation in the country. It's well known. It's people, every walks of life have seen and experienced this situation in different ways. As entrepreneurs, if you boil down the total problem, it's the shortage of dollars in the country. Cropping up from the shortage of dollars, we have difficulties in getting our fuel, that is, the diesel, petrol, kerosene, or even coal. And as a result of that, we are not getting our electricity supplies in the appropriate manner. And then, as citizens, we are experiencing shortage of, pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, medicines, and so on. And also, we are told that we are heading for a big shortage of food items. So, with all that, as industrialists, we are finding it difficult to get our raw materials on time and at the right, most competitive price. And the equipment or machinery, spare parts, all those things are problems for us to maintain our productivity levels and the smooth flow of the production operations. The shipping area, we have seen problems paying to the freight people timely, so it's irregular. There are problems. So all in all, we are cruising through a difficult time in maintaining our businesses, whether it is local for the local market, for the export markets, where we are active operators in both areas. Yeah, we are finding it difficult to operate businesses due to these reasons.
Mr. Siriwardena, I think you wonderfully explained the overview of the crisis. The next question is about what are the actions that business leaders can take to overcome this crisis? How do they think? How should they think and take as the first step to overcome this crisis, to come out of this? What do you think? What's your advice?
If you take the real solution for the problem should come from elsewhere. I think not mainly from the entrepreneurs or the business community in this country. The political authorities, the bureaucracy in who is managing the economy of this country should come out with speedy solutions to get over the fundamental problems and also leading to operating the normal life, day-to-day life of people, and then facilitating the businesses to run smoothly. As entrepreneurs, we can give our contributions by preventing dollars going out of the country in whatever the manner, and also earning as much dollars as possible as exports or trading activities or similar activities, so that we earn dollars and also we prevent dollars going out of the country. So I think as an organization who is actively operating in local businesses and also exports, we are trying our best to improve the dollar inflow to the country and bring them in the most legal channels to the country, so that some easing out of the dollar situation will take place, as our contribution. And we are trying our best to improve our export sales, whatever the products that we can produce. We are trying all the opportunities where we can improve the product portfolio and how we can expand our businesses to improve our dollar earnings. That's one area. And to reduce or to prevent dollars flowing out from Sri Lanka to outside, I think we can do a lot in those areas, in our personal life, reducing our consumption of imported material. As industries, we can always look for import substitutions, which we have been doing in the past. I think since we came across this COVID situation, we thought similar situation will crop up, and we have established a separate unit to look into the import substitutions, where we can substitute. It can be specialized chemicals or paints or whatever the other consumer products, where we can reduce the inflow of dollars out of this country. And also we can use the productive recycling of material. It is not just waste recycling, the productive recycling of material that we use. For example, I think this is not much related to our industry, but see what kind of stocks do you think we have in our households as imported clothing. And I don't think majority of the people are using 10-15% for our own consumption. So why don't we look at using them, improve using it for somebody else. I know we don't have the habit of using the used clothing in this country, but then we need to look at the feasible options of utilizing them, so that we can stop the dollar outflows. The recycling of waste material, we have so much of mineral products and some chemical products. I remember years back when we were small, the paints were made out of rubber seed oil. You as small children, we used to go and pick rubber seeds from rubber estates and sell it for sales, maybe 5 cents per kilo, or those days I don't know whether the kilos were in operation, it may be pounds, but so then we made the oil out of that. The industries bought it and made oil out of it and used it as a resin for manufacturing paints. Similar things we can look at. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but definitely those are the options we have. Now, very recently, we formed, just before the new year, beginning of new year, we formed 5 task teams within our, especially in the construction chemicals segment of our company, to look into new projects, innovative areas that we can look into as import substitutions, or whatever small or big way that we can save dollars. So one good project one team came out with was to make use of the coconut shell charcoal using coconut shell charcoal, you make a stove so that you make it use it in place of gas or kerosene burners. I have seen a couple of other companies or small entrepreneurs starting it. I think it's something that we can propagate in a larger scale and go to the market with a good product, safe, good product, so that we can. Coconut charcoal is local, it's a local material, no dollars are required, So I know there are industries making use of the coconut charcoal to export, but then I'm sure there are enough and more coconut shells in the country to make use of in small scale, make charcoal and use it in a stove, safe stove, so that you can use it in urban areas as well as even village communities. So like that, we should look at all kinds of possibilities of using materials, substitutions to prevent dollars going out of the country.
Now, Mr. Siriwardena, we talked about exports and exporters. Yes, we have exporters in Sri Lanka, but do you think the support they receive or the support given to the exporters is sufficient? What is your answer to this?
I think that's a very big question to answer. If I very simply answer your question, no, it's not today, even in the past. We have seen difficulties of starting up a business, going to the market, take a product to the market, and promoting it in the overseas market and bring dollars to the country. Sri Lankan people are having a high degree of entrepreneurship, as I have read it. But I think the authorities have not facilitated them to go to the real market opportunities and grab them. If I may tell you the main sectors, now I think the most favorable sectors that we can export are the products that you can value add Sri Lankan products. We have agricultural products, we have mineral sand, we have graphite, whatnot, so many. And we have, research stations. If you take agriculture sector, we have research stations for coconut, tea, rubber, cinnamon, betel, pepper, all those areas. I'm not blaming those officials or the people who are heading those places, but then what kind of interactions we have between those research stations and the industry? I don't think there is much productive commercial involvement in that relationship. So the facilities we have, the knowledge we have in those research stations can be converted to commercial values by encouraging those officers in those research stations to come out with what is required, the product requirement, the value additions, the modifications, customer friendly products, creating products those are in demand, looking at what's happening in the global arena. So such things can be a good subjects for research stations to work on, and then even they can market those research findings to the industry. I know some certain areas there are things happening in that scale, but then we need very active research R&D work. A lot of companies are depending on their own R&D work. But I think this is one area that I can see as the facilitations to answer your question, whether we are happy. That is the high level of facilitations. But then to start up a business, going from the very lower levels, operating in very lower levels, the Brahma Sevaka levels to a PHI and then Environment Authority. We need to have better facilitations, and of course it does not mean that people should be allowed to destroy the environment or destroy the other facilities, but then it should be more industry friendly. People should understand the entrepreneurs or industrialists are people who are creating employment, bringing revenue, and actively involved with the economic activities of the country. So such thinking, I think there should be a big change in the mindset of the authorities as well as people, so that the entrepreneurs will come up with better economic activities to create. Because Sri Lanka is blessed with, go to a village, you have jack trees and breadfruit, the greens. So all those things, we have the best cinnamon in the world. What not? We have so much, right? And see the amount of unutilized land we have in the country. Now, especially today, we are heading for, we are set to head for a shortage of food. So why can't we make use of those unutilized land and get the involvement of people and create some kind of a corporate structure to through whatever the facilitations may be, short term, medium term and long term, so that people and the corporate will get involved in that activity and get people to produce food, so that we will not come across any food shortage in the country. So I think those are the things that government should do. We as entrepreneurs, we are trying our best to get involved in those areas and give our contribution to do fulfill our part. But I think in the big picture, the government should have better policies, better directions, and better signals to through maybe tax benefits or any other areas. So I think that mindset change needs to come in with a more positive approach.
Now is a time where Sri Lankans need plenty of motivation. This is the best time to motivate our people. As a business leader who started from scratch and bringing your business to this level, what is your motivational message to the business leaders, entrepreneurs, and the youth in our country?
Yes, we have, as a country, we have gone through many difficult situations. The war, the tsunami, lots of them. So I think we have been able to, we have been resilient in all those situations and managed to keep ourselves afloat. So I suggest we need to, I invite everybody to be positive in our mindset, because nothing can make ourselves by being negative. So as Buddhists, we believe everything is hamadeyak manityai. So this will also come to an end. As much as the good days are coming to an end, the bad days will also come to an end. So let's think positively and do whatever we can do to contribute and to get out of the situation and help everybody, your neighbors or your people who are working for you, people whom you meet on the street. Will help them wholeheartedly and see how we can get out of this situation as soon as possible. As business people, we must look for new opportunities, new areas, what we have done wrong in our past to get into a situation like this. When you don't have dollars, why are we getting into this kind of tight situation? Why can't we try and, as much as possible, try and become self-sufficient in whatever we do and attract dollars as foreign exchange? So stick to the fight. So I think there is an end to this. So we need to have the country run by systems, not by personalities. I think that's the main change I'm expecting. So all the young people, the elderly people look forward to this change. I personally am wholeheartedly supporting this so-called system change, which is an extremely important change that we need to bring into this country. So let's think positively.
I reckon you wonderfully explained the way that the underutilized land can be used, and also about the streamlining of the processes that you talked about, so on and so forth. So Mr. Siriwardena, my final question to you is about your group, Wardena Venture Holdings. What is Wardena Venture Holdings?
Yes, Wardena Holdings is an upcoming company, a group of companies comprising three main segments. Our beginning was going back to 2000 with the start of Bitumix Private Limited, catering to the road construction segment with a range of bitumen products. And then we started Bitumix Exports, where we were involved with exports as a pioneering export of bitumen products from Sri Lanka. Later we added Lanka Road Chem, and Mega Chem is the latest addition, with diversifying into construction material, civil construction material, and HSR engineering is into application of specialty construction material. So that comprises the construction material segment. Then we have the export segment, mainly export into food and beverage sector, where we are value adding coconut kernel products under Vichy Plantation Company Private Limited, where we are a major exporter of a range of coconut kernel value added products to some allied customers in USA, Europe, Japan, Australia, and Middle Eastern countries. And then we have our beverage company, Vichy Beverages, where we are mainly into carbonated soft drinks, and also we are in the process of developing some export products for we are using spice-based beverages. Our addition in the other segment, like specialty products vertical, where we are into fiber-based products, and also coconut-based cosmetic products. We are also looking at joint venture arrangements with overseas parties, Middle East, African countries, Singapore, Indonesia, and some of the other Eastern Asian countries. So all in all, we are looking forward to build up Wardena Venture Holdings as a global company, catering to a variety of commercial, manufacturing and trading operations.
All right, so that's Wardena Venture Holdings for you. As Mr. Siriwardena mentioned, there are many factors that we have to look into if we are to overcome this crisis. Yes, uncertainty is a norm. We have to face hardships, and it's in our instincts to come out of this hardship and gain victory. So likewise, as Mr. Siriwardena said, it's about thinking anew, looking for opportunities, grabbing them, and thereafter thriving by achieving what you want to achieve. So until we meet again with another edition, thank you very much.